Hello YouTube and welcome to my August dividend portfolio update. Looking at sort of my top holdings, there's not much change this month. BP's up a little bit because I added a bit of extra money in there, and Rolls-Royce is down a little bit because it's lost a little bit of share price, and Shell's down a little bit because oil's gone down. That's why I added some to BP and Meta Platforms up. So not too much change in that perspective. The month in the general. Well, at the beginning of the month, it was talking about this big crash, and it did sort of happen. It started dropping off. Got me like a few days late making a video, so I'm a little bit late. So it started to drop on the Friday before, so I put my money in, and then on the Monday it did drop quite significantly, and then over the next couple of days it did sort of go back up. So I really missed the real dip of it. But I got it down. I think it was dropped down at 13%, or this sort of level when I put some money in. So I didn't do too bad out of it. Then as the month went on, it recovered back to sort of 15% going forward, where it finished sort of last month off at. So all in all, wasn't a bad month. Quite happy with it, really. Yeah, some of the big movers this month. So I'm just going to go through my shares holdings as individuals and sort of call out any big changes or something worth talking about in case you follow along. Just pause the video to see where I'm at. So AT&T's having a bit of a good run at the moment. That's really good. So I'm back in a profit there. I've been in loss on that for quite a while. And as you can see, it's up to $20 now. So it's doing really okay. BAE Systems having a little bit of a dip. I'm considering maybe selling this as I'm trying to slim down my portfolio. I didn't really sell anything this month because it was all been at top every month. BP, so like I said, BP's had a bit of a dip. They had the asset impairment of $2 billion that dropped the share price, sort of covered a little bit, and then oil in general has dipped down. So now we're down at an all-time month low of £4.16 a share. So still in profit on it, but might still put some more money in there now. Actually, that's that low. British Tobacco's having a bit of a stellar month. So this is one I will sell if I get to 10%. So I'm at 5% now, so it needs to go up a little bit more. But I guess I'm doing okay. Cat shares have had a bit of recovery. They obviously dipped down to what, 310 from the highs of like 380. So we're back up to now like 340. So you're doing okay. Diageo is still on a slightly recovered this month, but it's still on a downer for the year. It's not doing that great. Gladstone Land, so after its bumper month last month, fell through the floor, back down to what it was pre that month. So this is when I was putting £1 down. I haven't actually restarted that again since it's dropped. So I've sort of I've just been sitting and waiting really. Yeah. What else to talk about? This one I'm having a good month as well. This high dividend, low volatility S&P 500 ETF. So yeah, they're doing okay. I'm at 10% return. I might sell that one now because I've got too many. So that's one I was going to sell. Global Clean Energy is it's had a bit of a flat month. So if you look at it overall, though, I really should let this horse die, but a little piece of me, because I do believe in clean energy, keeps hold of it. Sainsbury's doing okay as well. Had a reasonable month. So quite happy with that. Johnson & Johnson's had a reasonable month as well, so back into profit on them, which has really helped my portfolio out at the moment. What else is there to talk about? Meta Platforms had a reasonable month, sort of finished quite flat towards the end because it had a bit of a dip last month. Same with Microsoft, I believe, yeah. That had a little bit of a dip and then covered out quite nicely. National Grid. So you might have been aware that they did their issues of rights. Share price dropped down quite a lot. So I put quite a bit of money in there and exercised my issue of rights. Got some more shares in there, so I think I've done really well there actually. And that should pay dividend next month, I think. If I remember rightly, no, maybe not. Maybe got wrong months mixed up on that. Penning Group dropped back down to the £6 sort of levels. It did have a little bit of a run towards the back end of last month. I will probably start pumping a little bit of money in there, try and cost average down my price in there. Pfizer is on a bit of a down now, but it was doing okay. Reality income. So this is what I spoke about quite a lot in the past. I pumped a lot of money in there, and it's still staying above the $60, which I assumed it would. So good decision there, made by me. Got my average down to $55. It's one of my biggest. It is my biggest holding now. Ricket Bent Kaiser is on a bit of an up, which is good because it had a bit of a drop down to like £41. I sold out some companies last month, put some in here, so that's doing me well at the moment. Nearly at a position where I can sell it. I want to sell it. Yeah, Rolls Royce. So Rolls Royce had a bit of a dip at the beginning of the month, same as everybody else really, and then the last couple of days it's had another little bit of a dip, so it's dropped below the £5 mark, which I think it will bounce between like £4.50 and just over £5 for a little while. They've announced they're going to start paying dividends again, but I couldn't find anything at the moment about yield or price per share, so I'm still waiting on that. So it always had a bit, like I said, always had a bit of a rough month, a bit of a downer. If it continues that way, I will definitely be putting more in Shell, because Shell is like my favourite oil company. Even though I'll stick more money in BP, but Shell is actually my favourite oil company. Not too much else to talk about now, really. Everything else is sort of pretty standard, not really moved. Yeah, so that's the app, really. So, all in all, stock market, beginning of the month, it's crashing, the world's going to end, all the doom and gloom stuff you see online. And actually, it's finished off quite nicely at sort of 15% for August. So, pretty much where we end up with July, really. So, I think July, August, July. So, July, I was at 15%. So, yeah, not too bad at all. So let's go over to my dividends I got for this month. So this month I put in £345. So that was made up of the £245 that I would normal investment, where I'd done £200 through my pies, and then I'd brought some extra ones to sort of balance out what I thought were quite bargains, plus an extra £100 in BP. So in the ISA, that would have given me £44 interest this month. So let's go over to the dividends and have a look compared to what we got. So in the month of August, AGNC paid me out £1.55. So at the moment, all my US stocks are heavily affected by the strength of the pound. The pound is actually stronger than the US dollar for like 5-year high or something. So it does affect my dividends because it gets converted back. I know I can keep it in the US currency, but for continuity for this sort of project, I've not changed that. So I am losing out a little bit there. It doesn't mean I can buy US stocks cheap, but also the comeback is that my dividend suffers from the exchange rate as well. So swings and roundabouts really. But anyway, I got £1.55 from them. Apple paid me out 17p, and again that's because affected by the exchange rate. AT&T paid me out £1.70, which is pretty good. Consider it's on a bit of a rise as well, so I'm very happy with that. Bank of Montreal paid out this month at £1.45, so not too shabby. BATS, which is paying out mega dividends at the moment, and that is reflected on a little bit of a run it's having, paying me out £2.90, which is pretty stable, pretty good, pretty high, and a lot of people are buying it. It has got good dividend, it has got good cash flow, but I'm trying to think more long term around where I want this portfolio to go after these 5 years, what I'm going to be doing next, and ethically it's probably not sitting in where I want it to be, so that's why this one I want to sell. Caterpillar paid me out 66p, so pretty good. Again, don't forget the exchange rate effect it's having. Seagroup paid me out 88p, which I was reasonably happy with as well. General Dynamics, the War Machine, paid me out 71p, which I'm pretty happy with. Gladstone Land paid me out 63p, again, because that is because of the exchange rate, that's why it's down. and I'm still not in a position to sell it. Greencoat Wind. This is when I've put a little bit of extra cash in the last couple of months, which is really shows in the dividend, reflecting my dividend, because it's popped up. I paid out good dividend this month anyway, for £2.14. So really happy with that. Horizon Technology Finance paid me out £1.35. My iShares ETF, JP Morgan's, paid me out 64 pence, which wasn't too bad. Lowe's paid me out 55 pence, which is really good. LTC Properties paid me out £1.11. Again, it's US stocks affected by the exchange rate, so it's not an actual dividend cut. Same Main Street Capital, but that actually went up a little bit, so I'm pretty happy with that as well. Nucor, which is like one of my top performers in terms of, it's had a bit of a drop off actually. I should talk about that. The share price has dropped off just lately, but this has been like one of my biggest growing stocks. But that paid me out dividend 51 pence. Then to my two government bonds, very similar, 81p and 83 pence respectively. So that's pretty good. I think they will both be. Oh, I think I might chuck some extra money in them, get them to £1 because I didn't like them, but they do grow on me. The share price I'm a little bit lost, sometimes a little bit of profit, but dividends are pretty good on them. Procter Gamble, they pay me out 79 pence. Prospect Capital paid me out £1.49. This is another one. It's having the share price having a hard time. The owner brought like $4 million worth of shares, trying to sort of create a bit of a boom. But the dividend yield is really high. Shares are really cheap. I thought I'd do a bit of cost averaging. It's not something I'd keep long term, but it is what it is. Reality income. So this is where I've been focusing, putting a lot of money in just lately, and that now reflects in the dividend payment. I got £2.51, so I'm really happy with that. Then we've got Stag, my steady got a monthly one, 42 pence. Really happy with that. Starbucks paid out this month at 60 pence, which is pretty good as well. And then my 24 monthly select fund, that paid me out twice this month. So £3.24 in total for the month, but both payments were like one was £1.50, one was the other way, £1.74, whatever. So yeah, pretty good for a risky stock. Still quite happy with that. It's performing better than I thought it would. So that's my surprise. United Utilities paid out this month at £3.16, so that's that dividend up for the year. And then getting into my Vanguard ETF monthly payers, so I've got 39 pence from one from the UK gilt, and for the US government bonds, got 67 pence. So nothing to write home about really. Should really get rid of them actually, thinking about it. And then last and not least, Whitestone REIT paid me out 32 pence, which gave me a grand total of £32.97, which is 12 quid short of what I would have got interest in my ISA. So it's probably one of the poorest months I've had this year in comparison. So you can't really compare it to the beginning of the year. But then that has had some stuff that hasn't paid out this month that paid out last year. So I'm expecting next month to be mega. So let's get into the numbers. So like I say, I invested £340 this month. So I ended up with an investment total of 14.4, and my cash ISA would be worth 11.6. So nearly £3,000. So overall, performance-wise, it's doing really well. So I'm better off still investing than I am putting it in the cash ISA, even with today's interest rates. And I'm currently running on a return of 16, nearly 17%. So that's really high. Really happy with that. My dividend yields at the moment, so on cost, so that's the money I've put in, I'm hitting nearly 7%, which is really high. So I am going to start next year sort of coming away from the higher yield ones and putting more into, so basically swapping my strategy around to try and balance it out a little bit, because I want about a 5%, 5.5% dividend yield. 7's a little high for what I'm going for. So on value, so that's the actual value of the portfolio, I'm still at 5.68% to gain. So that's about where I'd want it to see from a cost point of view. So yeah, so look, 2,500 up plus my dividends, so pretty good. So overall, really happy where I'm at. September is always the big month for the year, so I'm quite looking forward to next month. I'm hoping to break the £100 barrier for 1 month. Yeah, so as you can see, we track it through the year. We've had we had the bumper month in June, which was a bit of a surprise month, but I think some of them paid out quite well. And then we had a little bit of decline, and I'm expecting September to break the £100 mark. That's what I like to see. Anyway, looking at that overall portfolio in the top 5. So top number 1 is still BP. Number 2 is still AG&C. Number 3 is Prospect Capital. Number 4 is Shell. And number 5 is going to be HSBC, just about. So there's going to be a little bit of competition coming in there. So that'll change over the next few months, the landscape on that. So yeah, so as overall, I'm really pleased where I'm at. So have a quick look at the front sheet. So this is where we're at. So as you can see, at the bumper month, I'm now sort of below my exponential growth line. So not in the best place for a month, but like I say, September's normally a good month for me. So I'm quite looking forward to that. And then as you can see on this chart, I'm now within £1, I think, match what all the dividends I got last year in August. So I've still got September, October, November, December. So I've still got 4 months to go. I should hope to break, well, if I've got 25 average, that's 100 quid. So that would, yeah, I'd break the £400 mark easy. If I'm averaging 30, 35, maybe 450, shouldn't be out of achievable. So really looking forward to how the year finishes out. So I've got a target of £450 dividends this year. So let's see if I can make that. I'm looking quite keen on it. So yeah, obviously onto my predictor now. It says 11 years there to get to the 50k. So it's a bit of a slight decrease in time because I think it was 12 years last time. So I'm really happy with that. But on target for dividends, I think, and capital growth is out the park, basically. So as long as that stays that way, as long as the market doesn't crash the rest of the year, I should easily make that target. And a predicted fund value of 15.2. I'm still £800 behind. Still got September, October, November, December. I don't know. I keep counting that in my head. So it's 4 months. Got £1,000 in there. So if the stock market traded flat and I put another £1,000 in, I would be beating that. How much have I actually put in this year? I didn't actually check that. So I'm on. Yeah. Well, I've got to. So to meet my own target of £3,000, I've still got £1,200 to put in. Because normally in October the market dips down, so I've saved a little bit of cash for that. But anyway, that's where we're at. So in a good position, still unlikely to make 50k, but I think I'm doing really well, and I'm really happy where I am. Okay, guys, if you like this video, and if you're still here, I hope you have, please give it a thumbs up. It really does help my channel out. And also there's a link in the description below to sign up for Trading 212 if you want to have your own little adventure in trading and you like what you see, what you hear. Please give it in, and you'll get a free share. I'll get a free share, and any free share I get, I do sell them and donate that money to charity. So I think we're on like 3 free shares this year. I've got a total sum. I need to write it down. Actually, it's about just over £30. I've had £38, I think it is, which I'll be donating to charity come Christmas. All right, guys, catch you next time.